head or is it? It's actually the heart. Who comes to the campfire? Who comes to the campfire? The fragmented aspects of the one. And so you create the campfire. So the fragmented aspects of the one are just people who went away, or just perspectives that split off. And so the way that it works, the divine will is you stay in alignment with the heart. So you can go left, go right, go up, go down, go sideways a little bit. Okay. Or that's when intervention comes. And too far into the dark, that's when you have to come back to the light. Don't go too far into the light, you gotta go back to the dark. Right? That's the balance. You go too far one way, there's no balance. Okay, and that's why here's information. That's why civilizations create themselves, and that's why they destruct themselves, because it's part of the cycle of oneness. Part of the cycle. That's why we're here. That is the process of life and death. Right? Is oneness. Discovering oneness is H. Right, so we got to there. J is the 10th letter of the alphabet. The K, L, and then O, P. Right? So the campfire is a concentration. So if you think about it, Adolf Hitler, right? For example, was Adolf Hitler wrong? Right? No, he wasn't. He actually wasn't wrong. And this is where he actually didn't do anything wrong. He actually was wrong. So Adolf Hitler, from one point of view, he wasn't actually doing anything wrong. Because what he did was he created the campfire. Okay? Created the campfire. And what he did was he had concentration games, which he created the campfire. Okay, created the campfire in the centers. Okay, and so what actually happened there? Well, I just have fragmented memories and unconscious beliefs, filters that from the telephone game. So what really is it? The campfire. That the heart is still the home. Okay, so if the heart is the home, the hot is the home. So if the hot is the home, that means concentration camp was a physical, perhaps mistranslation or so fragmented process of the same truth. What was that? He still created a home in some way. He still created a fire, but it wasn't the right necessarily. I don't know if there's a right or wrong way, but it wasn't the highest potential. Okay, it wasn't the highest potential of residency as far as spiritual evolution involvement goes. There's different dimensions for the collective consciousness to actually transfer into. And so obviously, you see, the energy, as you see the energy, you see, the reincarnations of, who is that? Who is he in this life? Who is Hitler in this life? It's not, it looks like. But, and obviously, the energy's there. There's Cain and Abel. Polarity, right? Duality. Polarity, duality. Cain and Abel. Okay? Cain and Abel, polarity, duality. And so that's what it is. Polarity is duality. And so, people like Cain and Vlad the Impaler and Hitler, for example, we're talking about, Hitler is, Hitler is the dark. And so, there's the Christ, there's the Antichrist, there's the darkness, there's the light, right? And so it's not that, whatever we have filtering beliefs about what this actually is, but, we're searching through these programs like SpongeBob in the mind, the SpongeBob episode where he shoots the mind to get to the actual truth. Because that's my goal, is to get here to the actual truth. And so we're headed to the truth. By becoming the truth, is realizing that the truth is oneness. And so it includes all perspectives. So Hitler wasn't wrong. because we're parallel universe shifting the entire collective consciousness to a higher frequency timeline. And so to do that, we have to change how we look at Hitler. Okay, we have to change how we look at Cain. And we can change how we look at it completely. So how do we do it? We have to reteach, retell the story. Okay, it is society. We must retell the story. We must retell the story. It's not, we have to take responsibility. All of us have to take responsibility because we all did it together, right? We all did it together. We are all God. We all are Adam. All of us are Adam. Adam is God, and Adam is split into multiple perspectives. So Adam is the Alpha. Adam is the Alpha. We are all Adam. Adam. And within Adam is Cain and Abel, right? Within Adam is Cain and Abel. Light and dark, duality and polarity. And so to get to the core of the truth of oneness, right? To get to the core of truth of oneness is we must say, well, we just change how we're looking at things. That's it. To change the way we look at things will that change. Right? So change how we're looking at things. Okay? Especially with Hitler. Anything that we would have labeled as bad, right? Is in the collective consciousness, or as evil, some may resonate with others. There's many things going into this. There's just angels and demons, so on and so forth. That's what we realize. That's what we realize. And I really want to do a slideshow here now. I'm really thinking about a slideshow or whiteboards. Whiteboards would do. Slideshow might be better, but either way, slideshow and whiteboard are there. Without slideshow and whiteboard, we'd be fine. We would be fine. However, slideshow and whiteboard and a slideshow. So a slideshow is there, but a whiteboard would be have a slideshow. But why do we not have a slideshow with a whiteboard? We have the paper. We have the audio. Okay, so the truth is what? Oneness. Everything's here. Okay. So we have to, as a collective consciousness, let go of fighting each other. What are we fighting about? We're fighting that we want the credit because we're leaving the home, which is the heart, because we want to be the I. We want to be the one that discovered consciousness. We want to get credit for it, right? So we have egos. We're split egos. We have egos, basically. Then we say that I want to be the one that has the credit because it's me. I'm the creditor. I'm the creator, not you. I knew this first. This is my invention. This is my idea. This is domination, right? And so we're letting go of that. That's what we're letting go. And it's all reflection. It's all mirror. And so anyway, alpha is the base. It's the campfire. It's the campfire. It's the base. Okay? It's the alphabet. Okay, so Hitler was the home and the head. Hitler is the home and the head. He is. He's very important. Hitler is very important. Hitler is the head. Adolf Hitler, right? And some would say like Putin, for example, would be like a Hitler type figure, right? Whether that's him or it's not even that it's him because there's no identification, but they're playing the same role. They're playing the same role, and they're just carrying the same frequency. And so, and so when I say they, what am I saying then? Well, on a deeper level, it's not. There is no he in they. It's just a frequency. The names and egos are just separation, right? Because there is no names and egos. That's just part of the game. That's part of the game. So anyway, here, we're about an hour 13 in. So here, we answered about J in the alphabet. There's an infinite amount of knowledge here that you can really get into. And the goal is, how can you simplify it over time? How you simplify it is simply over through analogies, the diagrams, the slideshows. And to really simplify it in a way where you have the pretty much core process of what the truth actually is. In a simplified, specific way until we reach complete oneness, consciousness, which is what? Oneness with self. Oneness with self. Right? That's what the whole thing is. Breaking away every chain that's not you. So we are God. We are all God. And so what's the goal here is, well, we're creating an advanced civilization. We're becoming an advanced civilization. Because in the future, we already are an advanced civilization. That's why we've had prophecies. Because we are the past advanced civilizations. We are the future advanced civilizations. And so that's what it is. So we're creating this oneness. We're creating oneness with self. We're creating oneness within the heart, right? In the heart. We're going to go ahead and end it here because I want to create these slides. As you can see, we obviously created the slides right after the recording, putting it together now because it's the completion. It is the completion. A to B to C to D. Beginning was the alpha. The beginning is now. We must create the diagram. Two diagrams. One is the momentum cycle, which is the baseball field. Okay, the baseball field, and then two is the campfire. The campfire, which is the head, which is the heart, which is the higher self. Where's the campfire? It's the heart, right? The baseball diamond. And so the name of this can be this entire thing, the alphabet. We started with the alphabet, but notice what we thought we were creating when we started wasn't actually what we were creating because it formed into something even better than what we thought. How? By keeping the heart home, by keeping the higher self charged. We didn't know. The ego didn't know what this would turn into. Just by following the heart led it into the experience. And so it went from alphabet A to Z to connecting the dots. You realize that the heart is the host, which is the campfire, which is oneness. The fire is after the game. And after the day is done, evolution, then the fire. And so you have a campfire. So what that means is you have a campfire, friendly family fun at the fire after the day is done. Okay, and so think about what that means. You finish the day. You finish the day's work. You end it and you exit and you evolve. And when the day's work is done, you go to the campfire with the family to make sure everyone knows where the fire is. It's the campfire. The campfire is the home. And so you go to the fire with the family after the day is done, as God intended. You go to the fire with the family after the discipline of the day is done. The discipline of the day is done creates what? The discipline of the day is done creates the evolution, right? Once the day is done, right? Once the day is done, guess what? You either evolved or you evaded, right? So they say to know the enemy is to defeat the enemy, right? So we either evade our day at the end of the day, or we evolve, right? So then what does that mean? We either face our fears in faith, or we're hiding in fear. Basically, we're choosing fear, or we're choosing faith. Because if we're in faith, then we're going to do the discipline of the day, no matter what. Then we're going to evolve, right? Win or loss, it's going to be a lesson, right? And then what happens after that? It's the F. Then you go to the fire with the family after the discipline of the day is done. You go to the fire with the family, okay? And the fire, the home of the host of the fire, okay, is the higher self, which is the heart, okay, which is the head of the fire. Then you go to the fire after that, okay? So that's really what it comes down to. That's really the main takeaway. If you really want to put this in summary, the main takeaway. And so anytime you create something, you begin it with the alpha, go through the entire process, you find the end, and once you found the end, then you can face it. Then you can put the face and the head on it. Okay, so the creation, it doesn't have you don't start with the end until you've gone through the process to realize what the end is. And so you can make it, and this is why Phil Good talks about, hey, I'm going to do a video, and I don't even know what I'm going to say. And then at the end of the video, oh, this is what it is. This is how the Mona Lisa was created. This is how anything was created. You don't even know what you're creating until it's done. Once it's done, then you label it to describe what it turned into. And that's what a summary is. And that's what the whole point of it. And the outline comes only after you've written it. Okay? The outline, you can't really outline it before you've written it. You have to write it first. Then, at the end, title it, then label it. Because the title and the outline in the very beginning can change an infinite number of times. The point is to oversimplify it all the way down. And then that's what children's books are for, right? Because ultimately all you can really do is oversimplify it, which is what? Stories. And that's why there's cartoons. That's why there's books. That's why there's movies. That's why it's all children. So what matters is what's going to the minds of children and that's all that really matters. That's all that matters in that, and that's where you see it, right? And so that is the heart, is home. Okay, and that's what that's the children's role. And so that's really what it comes down to. What matters is you end up oversimplifying it over time. You oversimplify it in time into a way that it can be understood. It's not really the goal, but it's really to assist in the process of the evolution of the human race. To assist in the process of the evolution of the human race. To assist in the process of the evolution of the human race. Right? So the campfire analogy, the baseball analogy with the alphabet there, and then all the way going down to, right, and then the day is done. Once the day is done, then you have the fire with the family. And you face, did you evolve or did you evade? Right? It's not that we're not judging one or the other. We're not even changing, we're not even fixing. We're just addressing. Right? We're not adjusting from judgment. We're just addressing. Okay, oh great. You chose that today. Cool. And so you either evolve every day or you evade every day. So the only day that matters is the one that you're in. Right? And so that's what it is. The fire. The fire, when you face the fire of the family, that is after the day is done. Each letter has two opposites. And so what you would do is, to create the trailer of the movie, you first have to create the movie. To create the title of the movie, you first have to create the movie. You don't even know what the title is until you've created the movie. You think you know, but you don't. Because you can't possibly know until it's done. You couldn't possibly know. And if you did know, it wouldn't be as good, would it? If you knew how it was all going to go before it started, it wouldn't be as good, was it? You don't know what it could become. Who knows what it could become? You can't control it. From the ego, think you know. Because you can't. Only you can imagine what it can evolve into without you limiting it with your own mind. Right? So that's what saying the higher self is. You only have the day of discipline. That's it. The day of discipline. The continuation of the cycle, which is the birth, the death, right? So that's the summary. So you can go down all the way back and say, look, you can just skip all the way to the end, and summarize it and click that. That's the clip. Boom. But that's the rule, right? Because there's no rush. That's the rule. Rush and roll. So yeah, it's always just coming back to wholeness and being present and completing the cycle of the day at hand. Completing the cycle of the day and to face the feeling of the fire with the family, right? By forming a foundation, right? Which is becoming a founder. The family is the founder, which is the fire, right? Of the creation of what this actually is. Where we create an advanced civilization. Once again, where we create an advanced civilization, because ultimately everything else is just thin air. I mean, ultimately, we got to have something physical and tangible here as the end result, but also can't possibly know every detail before it started, because the process is part of detail anyway. So it's only completing the process of the cycle to continue it and continue it, right? And to continue. Is the completion of the cycle and the creation of it. And firing the diamond. So the next step at the end is to use this, right? Training consciousness. Training consciousness within segment is really the only thing It can be done. Try to segment consciousness, segment sequence, which is the truth.
All right, guys. We are here in another moment. That is the completion of this episode of the ever expanding universe that is going through the ever expanding planet, the ever expanding me. Man, stillness speaks, divine presence. All right, peace and love, reflections. Soon.